Serena and myself are currently exploring the Greek islands of the Dodecanese. We started our journey from the Turkish port of Bodrum and made our way to Kos and Kalymnos. Out of all the 12 Dodecanese islands, Deka is 12 in Greek, so out of all the 12 islands, we have to say we love Kalymnos. Now we're continuing our island hopping adventure to Leros, Lipsi and Patmos, and finishing our journey on the Greek island of Samos. Well, here we are again down at the port, making our way to another Greek island. We're going to catch the ferry, and this time we're heading to
Patmos!
Travelling by ferry in the Dodecanese is a wonderful way to explore these beautiful islands. With calm, smooth seas, it's not long before we arrive at our first port. We just arrived at the island of Leros. It's the main port here. As soon as we dock, the passengers quickly disembark, while the new ones rush to board before the ferry leaves. The whole boarding process can be a bit chaotic, especially during peak tourist season. Leros is a lesser known island, but still has a population of over 8,000 people. During the summer months, that figure doubles with tourists. One of the island's most famous attractions is the 11th century castle of Leros, which is strategically situated on a hill and overlooks the town of Panteli below. They're so quick with the turnaround. They're literally only 5 minutes at the port, everyone off, and then everyone gets back on. And many times their people are stuck on, or they miss their boats because they're so quick. They don't want to wait. They've got deadlines they've got to meet to get to each port. It's such a scenic journey travelling by ferry, watching the rugged coastline and island villages as we pass by. It's not long before we arrive at the small and picturesque island of Lipsi, known for its unspoilt natural beauty with a population of around 700 people. I've just made it now to the next stop, island of Lipsi. It's 2 island stops on the way from Kalymnos. Yeah, Lipsi looks like a small island. Everyone said it's a lovely place to come and stay. Once again, you're only here for about 2 minutes and they're off again. About a half an hour later, we finally arrive at the port of Skala in Patmos. Well, we've made it to Patmos.
Yes, island number 3 on this tour.
Now making our way to accommodation. We're staying at Captain's house, which I can see just over here, nice and close. We've just checked in and to our hotel here in Patmos, and we're staying at the Captain's house, and we've got a nice waterfront view. It's such a beautiful day outside, so time to quickly unpack, hire a bike, get a gyros for lunch and explore this famous historic island. We just hired a bike for a couple of days. We've got a scooter and now off around to explore Patmos.
Let's go. We've come to Souvlaki Papu for lunch. It's an amazing location right on the beach. It's regarded as the best place ever to have traditional gyros, pita and souvlaki. And we googled the best gyros in Patmos and a few places came up, but they were all like a bit more fancy restaurant. This looked like the real deal. This is exactly just what we wanted for lunch. It looks delicious. We've just come to this beautiful little seaside village called Grikos. It's only about a 5-minute drive from Skala, the main town here on Patmos. But it's such a cute little place. It looks like there's accommodation here. There's a couple of restaurants. So if you're after a little quiet place to stay, this would definitely be a good pick. Look at how beautiful and clear the water is. It's so beautiful.
So on the waterfront here in Grikos, you see nice little beaches. Bit of a heat wave going through Greece at the moment. So it's going to be later on, I'd say later on today, the beaches will be packed. You've got to love just cruising around on Patmos and hiring a bike. It's just so easy to get around. No one wears helmets here. Even the police are riding around without a helmet on. They said you're better off having a bigger hat to protect your head from the sun. Look at the beautiful beaches here. This is just amazing. We love the Greek islands.
This afternoon we're riding around the island and checking out some of its beaches.
Oh, nice. It has sand.
When it comes to beaches, Patmos is probably not the first Greek island that comes to mind. Yet, the small island has an abundance of truly amazing beaches. While there are a few organised beaches with sunbeds and umbrellas, most beaches and smaller coves in Patmos are natural and wild. Many of them have tamarisk trees, providing some much needed shade from the summer sun.
Is that refreshing? Really? I didn't realise it'd be that cold. This cold.
I think with the weather being so hot that the ocean would be warming up a bit.
The girls we hired the bike from said to come to this beach. Locals know about it, and you can see why it's a beautiful little beach. All these islands out the front here, and you can see like all the yachts and boats that come from everywhere, and they just pull in the bay here. Enjoy this absolutely clear, pristine water. And you've got a little restaurant up the top there. So they're not sandy beaches, they're all pebbly, rocky beaches. So the pebbles are very smooth. It's just a perfect way to cool down, drop your body temperature after 40 odd degrees.
After a great day exploring the beaches of Patmos, We come back to our hotel in Skala and get ready to head out for dinner. Skala has quite a few cafes and restaurants, but we're making our way to a must-try place that's been recommended to us by some of the locals. So again, we've taken a local's recommendation and we've come here to this fish restaurant. Apparently the guy that owns it is a fisherman. He goes out at night, catches the fish, and in the morning comes back, cooks up whatever he's caught for the restaurant that night. So we're looking forward to trying this.
So I'm trying all the different type of Greek beers. This one's called Memos. Yeah, Yamas. That's really good. Yases, boys, Dodecanese. So we've got octopus salad. It's boiled octopus, fresh as, and the bread.
Fresh hot bread.
Beautiful.
Even the cat's coming. Smells good, doesn't
Well, Kalimera from the port of Skala. Just come back from a little cafe on the corner there with beautiful takeaway coffees to start our day. We have a jam-packed day ahead of us. Go and see the 11th century castle that was built by an Orthodox monk on top of a temple. And then we're going to go see a very sacred Christian site. The island's known as the Holy Island, some call it. Others call it the Island of the Apocalypse. But what's made Patmos famous is this is the island that the Apostle John was inspired to write the book of Revelation. And we'll go to the cave where that is. But now we're just going to enjoy having a coffee, watching the boats go along the harbour and everyone waking up and going about their daily life here in Patmos.
We make our way up to the island's historic centre, Chora. First stop is the Windmills of Patmos, which date back to the 16th and 17th centuries. This was a bygone era when wind power was a vital source of energy used for grinding wheat and other grains into flour. From up here we get stunning panoramic views of the surrounding landscape and the neighbouring islands.
But you've got an awesome view on the top of the hill here, looking down over Skala, and you can see pretty much the whole island of Patmos from up the top here.
Patmos has been considered sacred almost since the first settlers arrived here about 4,000 years ago from Asia Minor. Those early residents chose the second highest point on the island as the site for their temple to Artemis, goddess of hunting. In time, Patmos came to be deserted and barren. Then in the 11th century, the Monastery of St John was built on the site of the pagan temple of Artemis. Eventually, many settlers returned and constructed an array of white cubicle houses with cobblestone streets at Chora, the town that still huddles against the monastery's protective walls. The monastery is one of the most significant religious sites in Greece and holds great cultural and historical importance. The interior of the monastery includes a central courtyard, a basilica church dedicated to St John, a museum and library with rare collection of manuscripts and religious texts, dating back to the Byzantine era.
Greek Orthodox monk came here and he built this monastery here on top of the 4,000-year-old temple to Artemis. So this monastery was built on top of that in the 11th century. We're just going to have a look through, see some of their real old history. So these paintings behind us were painted around the 17th century. You can see the lower down here, they're faded a little bit, but the ones up the top are pretty well preserved. The original colour, nearly 300 years old. That's the monastery. Very interesting, a lot of history. The museum's got a lot of old manuscripts and writings in there. Amazing to see, you know, from the 12th century, 13th century.
Well, even the 5th, 6th century, there was a manuscript in there from the Gospel of Mark, so it's interesting.
And how neat their writing was back then.
Yes, that's right. It was a real art, that's for sure. You can see why that there were people that was their job, was to write.
Scribes. And then not just write, also beautiful pictures and decoration inside some of the old Bibles. We're going to now go for a walk through Chora. This is really awesome. It's all the little skinny streets, walkways, and find somewhere to have a cold drink and something to eat and keep exploring Patmos. You're just a bit too friendly, you are, aren't you?
Man, you could get lost through all of these alleyways. They're all just so so spectacular. You could, you know, there's things you want to take photos of around every corner. They all look similar, but all still different and spectacular and just beautiful. You could just spend all day wandering around this old city here in Chora. It's so fascinating.
What makes it even better is when you're walking, you see these white walls and these colourful flowers at summertime now. Like, even check this one out here. All the flowers they've got up, they just stand out. It's bougainvillea. We're at the Cave of the Apocalypse. This is quite a famous place on Patmos that people come from all around the world. A lot of Christians come here to visit this cave. John was exiled by the Roman Emperor to Patmos, and in the cave is where he was inspired to write the book of Revelation. Now they've turned it into a Greek Orthodox monastery there. People come here all around the world to visit this place. So we'll go and check it out. In 1090 AD, a monastery of the Apocalypse was built to enclose the entrance of the cave. So this is the cave that the Apostle John had his vision where he wrote the book of Revelation. So we'll go in and have a look. It's been decorated quite a bit by the monks in the 11th century. Inside are watched as people lit candles to the icon of St. John. The Orthodox faithful believe the icon can perform miracles. The walls were completely covered by paintings, elaborate gold and silver icons, and other adornments. Patmos has so far escaped the tourist stampede that has nearly ruined other Greek islands. The main reasons are its lack of an airport and the monks' insistence that it remain largely a holy precinct.
For our last night in Patmos, we walk the streets of Skala. We stop at a beautiful little natural local product shop called Nectar. They had a great collection of quality products, including olive oil, honey, jams, herbs, nuts.
Oh, I've got some goodies. I've got some olive oil. I've got some samphire, some pickled samphire, which we had in the salad at that little taverna in Kalymnos. It was so good. I had to get some to take home. And I've also got some local honey, which was pretty fragrant and pretty strong, but like drizzled over a bit of Greek yogurt will be delicious. So I'm looking forward to getting them home.
For dinner, we make our way to a traditional family taverna called Pantelis.
Pantelis is a traditional Greek restaurant established in 1950 here in Skala in Patmos, and they have some real specialties, so we're looking forward to trying it. The soup. Wow, okay. Thank you. Taxi, Evharisto. This is their famous dish they have here called Ikaria. It's the fish soup, and it's with potato and done with the broth, the fish broth. Let's see if it's any good or not. Sure it is. It's
their signature dish.
Well, it's their signature dish, yeah, exactly. Yeah, wow. It's packed with flavour of fish in here, like. Yeah, it's pretty tasty.
Kalimera Philomu. Well, if you're enjoying this Greek island adventure and you want to see more, then consider subscribing to our channel. With your support by subscribing, it means that we're going to be able to make more of these videos for you to enjoy, travelling to different places around the world. For those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. And for any that don't know, it doesn't actually cost you anything to subscribe to our channel. So if you haven't already done so, we'd really appreciate if you just press the little red subscribe button at the bottom of the video. YouTube have also introduced a new function. You can see a little button that says thanks below the video. And by clicking on that, you can also financially contribute and support us. Even if you'd like to buy me a coffee or buy Tim a beer, we'd really appreciate any support you can give us. Thanks so much for watching. See you in Samos.
Well, that's not our ferry. Ours is a little bit smaller and faster. Okay, here's our ferry, and now we're off to Samos. Goodbye, Patmos. To reach the Greek island of Samos, we'll be stopping at 2 other islands along the way, before we arrive at the port of Pythagoreio in Samos. About 1 hour from Patmos, we reached the mountainous and picturesque island of Ikaria and the main port town and capital, Agios Kyriakos. Very mountainous place. Probably some of the highest mountains I've seen so far on the Greek islands. Ikaria is renowned as a blue zone, where the people here are said to live longer and healthier lives than average. Our next stop are 2 small and charming Greek islands, Fournoi and Thymena. Well, we're just docked in the next port, the next island of Fournoi. Small island, it's divided into 2. You've got Fournoi here, and then over the other side, ferries go across to the other part of the island. As we near the port, the ferry sounds its horn, so all at the port are ready for its arrival. Both Fournoi and Thymena are known for their unspoilt natural beauty, where the local inhabitants still live a traditional way of life. These islands would be ideal destinations for travellers seeking a quiet and peaceful retreat, away from the crowds.
About an hour later, with the sun slowly setting, we reach our final destination, the picturesque harbour of Pythagoreio in Samos. Pythagoreio was named after the famous ancient Greek mathematician and philosopher Pythagoras, who was born on the island. We wheel our suitcases along the cobblestone path around the waterfront, which is dotted with fishing boats and yachts. Some have even sailed from as far as Fremantle, Australia. The harbour is lined with cafes and tavernas, offering a scenic setting to relax and dine.
Well, we made it to Samos a bit later than what we expected. We're in about, I don't know,
20 minutes late.
20 minutes late, it's not too bad. And mine's
Thankfully it's summertime, so the sun hasn't gone down yet.
Sun won't go down till about 9. Got plenty of time to go and check into our hotel and then come and relax down here somewhere on the waterfront. And,
Nice.
yeah, it looks awesome. All the way to the top. Why didn't we get a taxi then?
That's what she said. She said to get a taxi because there's stairs.
Really? Well, time to get our exercise today. I'll walk up 101 stairs now. Oh. Is this where you carry our bags?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
So that it was just 400 meters from the port.
Yeah, those are like these 400 meters up in the sky. Sucking them in. Why did we choose a hotel on top of the hill?
Nice view.
Well, this is why we picked a hotel on top of the hill. Now, time to go back down those 1,000,001 stairs just to go out for dinner.
I got lamb kleptico, which is like a oven-baked lamb, potatoes, veggies with cheese in it. This is like a really yummy lamb roast with gravy and potatoes and really nice.
Well, I'm getting my octopus fix in the Greek islands. Octopus salad. Probably up there with a rump steak or a Scotch fillet. Just great. Octopus. This is char grilled, or this one's probably boiled octopus pickled with Nice tomato, onion and capsicum salad. It's good. Oreo.
So I got to say, we weren't expecting much from this place because we thought, everything along here is super touristy, and usually touristy places you don't get good local food. But this food is really good.
Tasty.
Like,
yeah.
I'm super impressed with this place. So Mediterranean restaurant along the waterfront here. We're really enjoying the food.
For our final day on the island, we wake up to another hot summer's day, with the local beaches already crowded by 10 a.m. Pythagoreio is regarded as the most picturesque village on the island. Here, traditional old houses with red tiled roofs surround the village.
You know it's hot when the cat's drinking hot water like that, trying to cool down.
We'd heard about a quaint and quirky place to visit called Blue Street. It's a street where retired artists live and have painted and decorated it blue and white. Samos is the 9th largest island in Greece, with a population of over 40,000 people. The island is known for its natural beauty, with lush green mountains and an array of beautiful beaches. We make our way over to the island's capital, Vathy, also known as Samos town.
Well, we've come to the other side of Samos Island, to Vathy. Vathy is the largest town on the island of Samos. It's around nearly 10,000 population, but they say peak tourist season now, it doubles to triple sometime. We're now going to go explore a bit of Vathy. Well, that was a cool little stop at Appaloosa. They did some gyro, and that was tasty as. Recommend, it's good for a quick feed. Our host was very friendly, got a nice beer, mythos on the house, so that was really nice. One of the things you got to get used to on the Greek islands, everything is so laid back. From pretty much 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, nothing is open. Everyone is closed. I'm walking through the main street here in Vathy. Everyone's gone for their afternoon siesta, lunch. No one starts work again till about 4 or 5 o'clock. And because it's summer, it's so hot. Many have gone down to the beaches and just relaxing down on the beach. There's a few bars and restaurants open then, but in those places. But here in the main town, the main streets, deserted. As you can see, not anyone around us. One thing we didn't realise that happened here in Samos, in Vathy, is that a few years back they had a massive earthquake which created a huge tsunami, and the tsunami pretty much came a metre above where I am, and all these shops along the main street here, you'll see it went a metre inside. It was a metre high over the road and footpath. The tsunami come right through. Unbelievable to think about that, just how high up it came. But Greece is known for its earthquakes. It has lots of earthquakes, and Samos had a real big one. Yeah, so Dodecanese, Samos earthquake. The earthquake, was it 2020 or?
Here was water.
1 metre high,
Yeah.
through. Wow, there you go, unbelievable.
This bike, the same like this, okay? But this
Straight through.
it went to the square.
All the way to the square.
Yeah, they found the square.
Did anyone lose their life?
2 persons,
2 persons.
2 kids.
Two kids washed out.
No, they was sitting in front of the old building. They were just talking, you know, two young children. And when the earthquake becomes like that, the whole house fell on their heads. And they died.
But είμαι από την Australia.
Down under.
Yeah, down under. Yeah, ducks. Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Να είσαι καλά.
So there you go. It's so sad. 2018, two kids lost their lives. The water 1 meter straight through all this area. Well, our Dodecanese
Adventure.
has come to an end. Yeah. Now we're saying goodbye to Samos. The Greek islands have been beautiful. We've had such an awesome time.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed the Dodecanese.